Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. My name is Walter. I appreciate you stopping by. Feel free to subscribe, like, or comment on anything you see or hear. You can be sure I'll respond. So today I want to talk about the latest Disney Plus Marvel series, Hawkeye, starring Jeremy Renner as Clint Barton, the Hawkeye, and Haley Steinfeld as Kate Bishop. I was hopeful that this was going to be pretty good. I had read some interesting reviews. It was highly rated by IMDb and Rotten Tomatoes, and I settled in to watch. And not so much. I was really hoping that this would be a nice tribute to the character Hawkeye and to Jeremy Renner. Renner has always been the supporting guy, the linkage guy. As an actor, he's been solid and dependable. As a character Hawkeye, he was always kind of the guy that got no respect because he didn't have any superpowers.
I mean, that's the story of my life. No respect. I don't get no respect at all. Are you kidding?
During the Thanos raid, Clint lost his family due to the blip. He lost his mind, got revenge crazy, turned into Ronin, a super assassin who was for hire and killed anybody or anything that was necessary until he got talked down and brought back by Black Widow. So he's in retirement now. He's enjoying a quiet life with his family. He's in New York to see the Captain America musical Rogers. The less said, the better. Yikes. And he's also at the same time getting ready to go home. Super fan Kate Bishop, who has been a fan of his since the invasion of New York, where she saw him in action and wanted to become just like him. So she's a master archer. She's a teenage kid. She's precocious. She's sassy. She lives with her mother and her stepfather, fiance type. And because she follows her stepfather around because he's up to no good, she winds up through a series of long, convoluted events. She winds up wearing Clint's Ronin suit that she steals from a secret Avengers technology invasion secret auction. She spotted. The criminals think that Ronin is back. Clint finds out and says, I can't let this innocent person get involved in this. He tracks her down. She's in fangirl worship. He's tired and bored by the whole thing. And this is where the problems start. Because it seems Clint is acting in one movie, trying to keep it straight, trying to follow the story, trying to do the right thing. And everybody else has got their tongue so far up in their cheek, it's hysterical. It's like watching Batman and Robin with George Clooney back in the 80s, or watching the original Batman. It's a little campy. Kate wants to be his partner. She wants to hang out with him. She wants to make plans. She follows no orders. She's sassy. She does whatever she wants. Instead of breaking into someone's apartment, she walks in the front door in her costume carrying an old man's groceries. It's this kind of thing, which would be fine if this was a comedy. But Renner's playing it straight. Renner's trying to drive the narrative. But instead, he winds up doing things like having to go to the Renaissance Fair and wind up being involved with them and having to admit defeat to get his equipment. It's crazy stuff like that. Getting beat up by women again. 3 women that weigh, well, one probably weighs 150 pounds. The other 2 weigh 85 pounds that are 5'4". And once again, the Marvel new plan, which is many that get beat up by women or take orders from women. So he's getting beat up, and Kate Bishop, of course, is not. She's the prodigy. She's the wonder kid. She's got it all figured out. Meanwhile, her stepfather, who she hates and thinks is evil, and that's why she's following him around, is involved with her mother, who is, of course, a very rich and very successful owner of a security company. But, of course, like all smart women in these types of shows, she apparently is like a love-struck teenager when she meets this guy. So, of course, she sees him as the perfect guy. That sets up the classic Gidget Goes superhero plot, which is just insane. One-liners, 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 plot jumps, and the dog. They've got of course, Kate rescues the dog out of traffic, and of course he becomes her sidekick and part of the whole thing. Renner himself looks a little exasperated at times, but he soldiers on in top form for what he can do. Now, they've been promising a tremendous amount of build-up for payoffs of appearances and other people and other guest star supervillains or heroes. I don't know if any of it's going to come about because, frankly, I don't know whether to laugh or shake my head when I'm watching this show because it just doesn't have a tone. It doesn't have a tone that's consistent. So everybody does whatever they want to do, and we just got to sort through the rest of it. I'm a big fan of the actors that are involved. I don't necessarily think it's their fault, but I've said this before. Not that anybody heard it on my 27 View podcast. A bad woke movie is still a bad movie, just like a bad non-woke movie is a bad movie. This is a mini-series, but the principle applies the same. People are not getting a dollar investment return on what they're watching. It just seems to me to be a little flip, a little over the top, and a little too cute for itself. I think that I'll watch the last 2 episodes because I'm committed, but I think the character deserved better. I think the series is not very good. I don't understand what happened to Marvel. When Marvel got into the TV series business with Netflix 6 years ago or 5 years ago, the first series they produced was Daredevil, and it was perhaps the best production of anything they've done, movie or TV. It was an origin story. It was great. Charlie Cox was superb. The cast around him was fully actualized and developed, well cast, and great storyline, and a great villain. You just think that this would be good source material to do this. The source material for the Hawkeye miniseries is good, but they just have kind of turned it into something that it's not. And I don't really get why they just can't let this thing go. It's clear they want to move on from Hawkeye, so give him the dignity of a good final ending and series. But afraid that's not going to happen. So anyway, that's my all over the map review. Feel free to comment, respond, and I thank you for listening. My name is Walter. Take care, everybody.